Grace and peace to you from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. It is wonderful to be back with you again today. We still miss you. Even though we've resumed in-person worship on a Sunday morning, obviously there are still so many of you who have travelled back up north, and a goodly number of you who for all of the right reasons, and I can commend you for them, for all of the right reasons, you're staying away from in-person worship until you are stronger or healthier, your immune system heals, or until it's just simply safer to do so. Thank you for taking care of yourself. You are made and loved by God. You should take care of your own health. Please keep doing so. But there are many of you who have returned to in-person worship, and it has been wonderful to see you. Thank you for coming home, recognizing that it's safe to do so. Safe to do so for you. We continue to take precautions on a Sunday morning. You may have watched the news and you see an increase in the number of cases of COVID-19 in Florida and even in Sarasota. So please don't think for a moment that just because we've had a few Sundays where we've been worshiping in person, don't think for a moment that we're letting our guard down. All of those precautions we started with, we are still maintaining for your safety, for ours, for everyone's safety. I refer you to the guidelines that we published at the start of the in-person worship. It's still available on the website, available through connections, and we can send it to you individually if you've lost all of those links and those ways of accessing the guidelines. Those guidelines are being maintained. We're still being scrupulous for all the right reasons. So refer to the guidelines, and when it's safe for you to do so, come back to worship. A warm welcome awaits you. We still at the moment have worship services on a Sunday morning at 9, 10 and 11. The services last about 40 to 45 minutes, and we have that 15 minutes in between to sanitize the pews and the restrooms and anything else that needs to be spritzed a little before the next worship service comes in. For the time being, we still have the 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock services, but we are giving careful attention to the 10 o'clock service. For the 2 Sundays that we've been in person worshiping, it's the least well attended. And so it's the first one that will likely be dropped when that moment is reached. I just want to remind you why we have 3 services. In theory, we needed them. Now, it looks like that maybe we don't need all 3 going forward, but we've only discovered that as we keep careful attention to the numbers. But if we'd started off with only 2, you know the answer to this. Think about it for a second. How would we have known we needed 3? We would have known we needed 3 as we started to turn away people from the other 2, and we didn't want to do that. So we'd much rather look at the numbers and say, hey, we don't need 3 services on a Sunday, and drop one, than start off with 2 and be in the embarrassing position of waving goodbye to people and saying, I'm sorry, there's no room at the inn. So that's why we started with 3. But we may be on the verge of returning to 2. We'll let you know as things develop. But I wanted to just repeat why it was we started with 3 in the first place. We still don't have Holy Communion celebrated in worship. We're not ready for that yet. We want to see the cases of COVID reducing before we start to add to our worship services. So no Holy Communion during worship, but I want to remind you that for the past 3 months, during this COVID pandemic, people have been able to make appointments to come in and receive Holy Communion from me, or be in pastoral conversation, or enter into the rite of confession and absolution. All of that has been available, and a goodly number of people have taken us up on that offer all the way through the pandemic. And when you come in by appointment, believe me, I'm very careful how how we celebrate communion together. But we now have a second alternative. We can drop consecrated Holy Communion at your home. Along with it comes an order of service, specially designed for you to receive Holy Communion at home. And Holy Communion comes in these little cups. You tear off the first seal, and there is a host. You tear off the second seal, and there is grape juice. And as you can see, no one has touched the contents of this Holy Communion except you. That makes it much safer. If you want, when you receive Holy Communion at home, you can give this a quick wipe with a disinfectant cloth and you're safe. It's not ideal. I know it's not ideal. But it is a way of bringing Holy Communion to those of you who simply cannot come to worship or have me in your home. Because if you are still taking those precautions, the last thing you need is me, a person who sees lots of people all week long coming into your home and spreading the virus. So this is, I think, a good middle ground. Holy Communion in a case of emergency. But they have all been consecrated in worship here at St. Armand's Quay Lutheran Church. Call the church office if you would like us to drop that kit off at your doorstep. Also remember that Bible study is going on. I still lead my Bible study. It's available by Zoom. Just call the church office, we'll send you the link. We'll give you instructions and any help that you need to join us. And that happens on a Wednesday at 11 o'clock in the morning. So I'd love to see you in Bible study. And if you're a young family with kids, you probably know this already, but remember, there is online Sunday school. There are materials we share with you every week. Just go to the St. Armand's Quay Lutheran Church website and you'll find it. And if you're not a young family, but you'd like to look at the Sunday school materials, go have a look. You're more than welcome. You're part of the family. I hope you enjoy them. So we've got lots of things happening at St. Armand's Quay Lutheran Church, but we don't yet have small group meetings or committee meetings happening here. That's for the next phase of return to normal. And those are some of the things I wanted to share with you today. But I also wanted to let you know that the next couple of fireside chats, I'm going to be talking to you about very specific things. The next time we meet in this fireside chat, I want to start describing to you what church will be like in the future, the plans we've made at St. Armand's Quay Lutheran Church for what this new church may look like. And I also want to talk to you in the fireside chat after that about the mission and ministry of St. Armand's Quay Lutheran Church. What are we about? What makes us tick? And I want to share with you in that chat many of the things that happens in and through St. Armand's Quay Lutheran Church that you might just not be aware of. What is our ministry going forward? It's exciting, and that's what I want to share with you in the next couple of fireside chats. Until then, may God be with you until we meet again.